Morning everyone, and welcome back to a new video. So today I came all the way down to Manazuru, which is this really nice sea town along the coast in Kanagawa, where I live. And I've been here before multiple times because there's some really iconic sea stacks in the water. But today I came to a slightly different place that I've never been before. So I want to try and check if there's something nice. At the moment I just parked my car. I'm walking down the beach. There should be a road that leads to the beach, a small beach that I've never been to before. So I'm just gonna try and check that out. So I was walking along the beach here, and it's really sketchy. It's really difficult to walk around, and I did walk around quite a bit, but I couldn't really find any interesting composition. The problem is all the sea stacks and the rocks are actually where you're walking, and there's nothing outside that you can actually use as a subject. So even if, as you can see here, the cloud cover is pretty good and the background is also really nice, and there is actually nothing to use as the main subject of any picture. So maybe I think I'll just walk a little bit more, try and see if I can find something particular that I might want to shoot. Otherwise, I think I'm just gonna move to a different location. It's a shame because, as I said, the place is really nice. The weather is also perfect, and there's no one else around. So, too bad, but not giving up yet. Let's try and find something else. So one thing that I found that I think is pretty interesting is this pool of water here in the rocks with some grass inside that has really nice greens. And of course, it will look really nice in color, but maybe I can try and make an image in black and white. So it's a long shot, but I think I'm gonna try and take my camera out and take a couple of pictures of this. Let's see how it goes. All right, so hopefully this thing is following my face. Let's give this a try. It's gonna be difficult. So I think I'm gonna go handheld for this shoot, and I'm going to try and frame these grasses in the water at many different focal lengths. I'm gonna be handheld with stabilization on, and I'm gonna use the polarizer to cut through the glare on the water to try and see through a little bit more. So let's give it a try. It's kind of difficult. You probably want to be almost 90 degrees perpendicular to the water surface, and then I'm trying to shoot the same thing at different focal lengths to see what can actually work and what doesn't work. I think longer focal lengths work better for this. So at the moment I'm at around 70 millimeters, just a little bit more than 70, and I'm trying to isolate some of the grasses, but it's pretty difficult. Yeah, and to try and keep my shutter speed not too low, I just raised up my ISO to 400. F8, at the moment I'm at 1/4 1/25 of a second. So it should be okay with stabilization on. I don't know, I'm trying slightly different compositions, many of them, and hopefully one will work. It's what they say, spray and pray. So let's spray a little bit more. Okay, I think I got enough variations. It's definitely tricky, and it's not the most obvious shot when you come to the beach. But maybe, I hope, at least one of those pictures will turn out to be good enough to put in this video. I don't know, you never know. That's why we keep try, and we need to keep trying to get better and better every time. All right, let's get back and try and find a different place to take some more traditional shots. It turns out there might actually be a shot here on this beach. I just found this rock here, just behind my camera here, my tripod. It's basically the only big sea stack which is out in the sea and not just here when I'm walking. So it's really close to the shore. So I'm having a hard time trying to frame it up. Ideally, I would like to have only that rock in the scene, but it's just too close. So I need to include some of the shoreline here, some of these rocks as well. So I'm trying to frame the main subject of the composition by using these wet rocks here in the foreground to frame it up nicely. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's actually, this scene is actually backlit because I think the sun is somewhere around there. So I don't know, maybe it's a long shot, but I think it's worth trying. So at the moment I'm at 24 millimeters, ISO 64. I am focusing on the rock, of course, and I'm trying to use these rocks, as I said, to frame. I'm at 1/80 of a second without filters, just with the polarizer. I'm gonna keep the polarizer on because I like how the scene changes when I use it. And then I'm just gonna put this to manual focus, if I can do it with one hand. Okay, so manual focus. And then I am gonna put my 10-stop ND filter on top of the polarizer and see how much I can get. Just hold on a second. Ooh. It's difficult to work with one hand, you know. So let's just put it there. With this scene, the camera tells me the exposure is up to 8 seconds, which seems too short for me, but I'm gonna try anyway. And I need 2-second timer. So I'm gonna try a couple of shots at 10 seconds, like the camera suggests. And then probably I'm gonna take a couple of longer shots, like 30 seconds, maybe a little bit more. Maybe adding another ND filter on top of the 10 stops to smooth out the water even more. And hopefully it's gonna turn out to be a nice shot. I hope so. Okay, so I had lunch and I came down to the main beach here, and as you can see there in the background, there's the main sea stack of this location. It's called Mitsuishi, and I already shot here multiple times, so that's not the goal, that's not the reason why I'm here. And I'm trying to walk on these stones here, so I need to try and be careful when I talk to you guys. But as I was saying, I just came to try and look for some different compositions that what I actually shoot here. The wind is picking up, so that's not good. And also today was supposed to be very cloudy, but as you can see now it's actually sunny, which is a shame because all the nice clouds that we had in the morning just basically went away. But I'm not giving up yet. I'm gonna try and look around to see if I can find some nice rock to shoot. I have to say it's great to be out and about, but spring and summer here in Japan can be very hot, and it's still April, but it's already like 27 degrees today, so I wasn't expecting that. But anyway, let's go. So I made it to the water, and it was pretty sketchy. It took me a lot of time to just walk down the beach. I'm here. I found a nice rock that I like just there in the water. It's a small rock, but I figured if I zoom in a little bit, at the moment I'm at 70 millimeters, I should be able to get some nice minimal shots. The problem is, as I was saying, it's getting pretty bright and there's not so many interesting clouds in the sky. And also, as you might have noticed, I'm trying to speak in the mic very close because the wind is picking up a lot. It's getting very strong. It actually blew away my tripod a couple of times before I put my camera on. So I need to try and find a compromise between a long exposure and try not to shake the camera, which might be a little tricky in these conditions. So at the moment I'm at f11 in aperture priority mode. It gives me a shutter speed of around 1/50th of a second, and I'm gonna put a 10 stop ND filter in front of my lens, and that should give me an exposure of around 30 seconds, which I think in these conditions is the longest I can go. But yeah, I'm gonna try a couple of shots, and just in case, this is what you may call a pro tip. If the wind is really strong and the only thing that is really not moving in the frame is the rock, what I would do is, wait a second. What I would do is I would take a normal shot, not a long exposure, just a fast shutter speed shot of the rock to make sure it's in focus completely and not blurred. And then I'm going to take my long exposure and blend the two images together if I need to. By shooting, wow, come on. By shooting, as I was saying, by shooting both images, I'm sure I can get home with something today. So I might try and do that. Depends on the conditions, but if I get anything good, you'll see right now. So I just found another rock here, but the wind is bollocks and it's very difficult just to stand. So all these pictures that I'm taking, they probably end up not very sharp. But anyway, this is the rock. They're all pretty small, these ones, but I think they look good when you zoom in. At the moment I'm at 70 millimeters, which I think it's the best focal length here to get the proper compression for this scene. Again, the wind is pretty strong, so I'm also shooting all the images of the rock without ND filters, so I get a very fast shutter speed, so I make sure that the rock is in focus. But even by doing that, as I said, the wind is very strong, so I'm not sure any of these are actually in focus. But what can you do? And the weather is also not getting any better, and by better I mean cloudier. So yeah, it's not very interesting. It's windy, it's difficult to shoot, so I guess this is gonna be my last image. If it's any good, you'll see right now. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and have a great day.